Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today I'm going to reviewing this, and this is a new product for me. I've never used this before, but I've used something very similar. I got it all set up on the workbench here, and I'm going to explain to you why I think this is a far superior product than what I've been using in the past. What I used in the past, it worked, but I think this is a better option. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at some of the tools that go with it. And maybe this might be a product that maybe you could use too. So let's go over to Workbench. Let's find out why.
Okay, so let's take a look here. Now I'm going to show you some of the tools that I do use, and these are all, these two here are air driven, same as this one here is driven by your air compressor, just like this one here. And the new idea here is this particular style of cutoff disc. Now you can see the style I have on here, and today we'll use this one here because I think most people have the electric version of like a Dremel tool. That's just the brand name here. So you got the different discs, and can you actually see here where, let me just grab a hold of this, and it doesn't want to focus. Okay, so you could see how this has just got like a threaded screw with a couple of washers that hold that on. And if we take a look at this one here, you could see how it's placed, and it just sits in there. So what is the problem I've had in the past? Same as this one here, you can see how it's placed in there, right? Well, the problem I've had was this small little round hole. Well, after time, the disc starts to spin. So if you try any kind of pressure to it, it would start to spin, and you lose your traction on the cutoff disc, and it didn't work so good. Now, when you take a look at, take for instance this one here, you can definitely see that there is a huge difference on how this is actually in this mandrel here, and it's held on really good. So I mean, this one here, yeah, it's got lots of torque, and you can cut a lot of stuff off. But when you want to try to cut something off in a delicate spot, and I put this here. Now if we just take a look at this hose clamp right here, and this is another type of hose clamp right here, you know, today we're going to cut this one right here just to show you. Many times I've come across, say, like a rad where, well, you tried to take this off and the ears broke because it was all rusted. And same as here, the gear clamp is completely like corroded. And if you try to pull it off and twist it and everything else, well, you're going to run into a problem of breaking the neck on the rad. So I usually just use the cut off tool, and I'll just like cut this off here, and you know, it will release it. And I think that's a good thing. So like most people, you got a different variety of all your different discs, and, you know, sanding discs, and, you know, it's best to have a variety, and I've got quite the variety. And if we take a look at here, you can get different collars. Like this one here, you can go to from a 1/8 to a quarter, and you can see how the small little end here is not that great. So let's open up the package here, and let's take a look and see exactly what this looks like and what the difference is. Okay, so here we are, and you can see how this actually works. You pull back the collar, and then you put it in, and it's got to be orientated properly. So you're going in the back side like this. So I'm going to pull this back the best I can here. Bear with me here. And it's going to go in here like this. And then you have to, see how it's in there? Okay, so I got to turn it in there a little bit better than that. So you got to go put it in. There. And you could see how it's 90 degrees to this particular slot. So you go in the back side first, and then it holds on this metal crimp ring on the outside. So let's put it in the electric cutoff tool, and let's see how it does on this stainless steel hose clamp. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you my pencil die grinder, you know, that you could actually insert different tools into. Now, if you take a look at the wheel here, I'm just going to start it up real slow here so you could see the difference. I'll just turn it down real low. See how that wobbles? And that's the biggest problem with these kind of discs that don't have a good retention, you know, in the front and the back, where the other style, the Dremel, well, I think it's far superior. So I mean, yeah, you can crank these right up or as slow as you like. Yeah, you could actually see where this disc, you know, if I'm moving it by hand here, you can probably see that it's kind of wobbling, right? And that's why you get a lot of shattering on these. So let's put it in the electric one. And this is far superior as far as I'm concerned. Let's put it in. Let's see if it spins true. And we'll cut this off. Okay, so here we are. And let's just move it by hand. And it seems to be tracking very, very smooth. You know, it's got a good grip on there. So let's just start it up here, and we'll just put it down to a low speed at first, and then we'll dial her up. Well, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so let's try and cut this. Now, if you're thinking about cutting one of these, you'd actually want to cut it where the slots are, so you don't have to spend a lot of time cutting through the whole thing, right? You could see where the slots are here. We'll just buzz one side, and then we'll buzz the other. Put your face shield on, and let's see how it goes. Okay, let's crank her up a bit more. And it's as easy as that. Well, what do you think? I'm pretty impressed. I mean, it was nice and true. None of this wobbling stuff. Because I have been, you know, using it in spots. Yeah, you got to wear a full face shield. Because some of them fiber discs, bang, they just shatter into pieces. So you got to be careful what you're doing. But I would say the Easy Lock system is I think it's a great idea. Now, I bought this on sale. And I got 5 discs and the Easy Lock holder itself for 15 bucks. I'm not too sure where they are in the rest of the world where you are. Just shop around for the best place. I mean, you can't go wrong. And that's it here right again. I mean, it's as easy as that. I mean, Easy Lock by Dremel. And, you know, I think it's a winner. So I'm giving this one here a review of 5 thumbs up. And I'll be using this, you know, quite often. Because I tell you what, the other ones, sometimes they're a little dodgy. Because you're just waiting for them discs to explode, right? So thanks for joining me here today. If you've never seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again and see some interesting things that maybe you haven't seen before. And maybe an interesting way that I've shown how to demonstrate it. And some of the things that you could use to cut stuff off with this Dremel type discs. And you'd be surprised how it saves you a lot of time doing something instead of playing around with fasteners and all that kind of, when you can just buzz them right off. And it'll cut a lot thicker than just, you know, that material there. So, I mean, you just take your time, face shield, c'est la vie. See you next week. Come back again.